Hey, welcome to Hey Bud Smoking BBQ. Today, we're going to unbox and we're going to build the Oklahoma Joe Highland smoker and grill. So we're going to open this thing up today, so stay tuned and see what happens. Okay, so as we said, we're going to be opening this thing up right here. So this is the new Oklahoma Joe Highland smoker. This thing is pretty nice. So I'll tell you, this thing is definitely heavy. So we're going to set our instructions over there. Whew. There we have it. Heavy. Alright. Let's go ahead and open this thing up. Got all the pieces and parts stuff in here. I'm going to pull them out. Looks like the front shelf. So, throw it out here. So 619 square inches in the main cook chamber, and then cooking surface in the firebox itself, and then so for a total between, you can either do like charcoal directly in the firebox, which is going to be off the side, or sorry, the side over there. But it's actually pretty good construction, pretty thick so far. I'm pretty happy with it. So this is about 3/8 inches thick, 3/8, and yeah, let's finish getting it all taken apart here. Alright, so we laid everything out here. We have all our pieces and parts. We just did an inventory. So make sure you always have your hardware kit. Make sure everything is there before you go to start. Right? Because if you go to start, it's not all there. You're either going to make it run to the home hardware store, or you're just not going to complete your build. Alright, so I went ahead and made sure I had all the grates, all the pieces and parts, all that stuff. I made sure that anything that already had the screws like on it, like this little bracket here, has them on both sides. Make sure it's easy to install. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Remember to follow your instructions. And like I said, always inventory before your start in order to make sure you have all your pieces and parts. Alright, let's start building. So one of the things I want to show you is right here. This is where you're connecting the firebox to the cook chamber, and whenever you go to hook this up, you're going to notice that this is curved out, whereas this is flat. So as you tighten, it'll actually like help seal the chamber. So you got to make sure as you tighten that you get a real good, like you don't have a lot of gaps and that kind of stuff. So make sure you tighten evenly. So use like a star pattern, something like that, so you don't end up warping it or anything like that. So basically star pattern would be like going from here to here, and then from like here to here, and here to here, things like that, and then go around and do a final like check pass at the end. All right. But overall, pretty decent on this one. Pretty happy. All right, let's go pieces here. So, throw on our grill shelf here. We'll end up taking all this stuff off here. Open up our chambers here. I'm gonna throw these grills in here. There's 3 of them. These grills, little grates here. This one goes in the fire chamber. Remember, this one can be used as an additional shelf for cooking. There we go. And last but not least, we're going to put on our thermometer. So this comes with the thermometer. I got a second thermometer. We're actually going to put this one in here. And then we're going to tighten the nut here. And then make sure you keep that right there. And then we have our other thermometer because I want to be able to see temperature differences across the chamber. That. So save your plug, obviously. So now we're done. So we end up with the Smoking Joe one, or the Oklahoma Joe one. Smoking Joe. That's me. And then got this other one here. It's similar. It's just aftermarket. And then so right here. So you can see right there all the cooking spaces you have on here. This right here has it's a spring-loaded lid, so it's easy to, you're not going to end up breaking it off. And you'll be able to adjust how much air you want, or how much smoke you want to let out. And then over here on the side is where you're going to have all your vent. You can easily get in there and clean it out. Easy clean out. Like I said, this is your secondary, where you can have it like direct heat, so you can do your searing of your steaks or whatever after you do low and slow for a while, and all that fun stuff. But overall, build time was about a little over an hour. Most of it is because I kept getting ripped by kids, but overall, it was not too hard, not too difficult, and overall, it turned out pretty decent. I'm pretty happy with it. And like I said, got an ample amount of space and everything on there. So that's just straight up what it says on the box and what it says on the little thing there. We're going to pull that off, and then we're going to wheel this to the backyard, and then we're going to do our seasoning of it, and we'll go from there. Alright, so now that we finished the build, our next part of this is the seasoning. So all we do is we have some vegetable oil here. So a lot of people ask, in my previous build, I used olive oil. So olive oil, because of the burnt temp on there, it actually is a little bit lower than vegetable oil, depending on the kind you get. So like just a non-refined, just virgin olive oil has a smoke temp of about 410 degrees. This is about 438 degrees for vegetable oil. It's really not that big of a difference whenever you get into it, but you know, it's whatever you want. If you go to like refined, like extra virgin olive oil, then the smoke temp drops way down to the 300s. So I wouldn't use that, but just virgin olive oil, vegetable oil. They're gonna have very similar smoke temps. Not that big a deal. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna coat this whole thing inside and out with vegetable oil, and then we're gonna light a fire. Alright, so we just finished off. Now we're gonna light up a fire. Got some one of those briquettes here. So our goal here is to get this thing up to about 400 degrees, so we get a good seasoning on it, and then so we'll see how we can do on that. All right, so we're lighting it off. And let's get this thing up to temp. Alright, so we can already see temperatures climbing here. One thing, we are seeing a pretty decent disparity between the gauge that comes with it and then the one aftermarket that I bought, because I wanted to be able to see. So in the future we'll put an additional probe in there to see which one is more accurate. So that climbing past 175, this one is still not quite 175, so kind of between 150 and 175. Overall, so probably about 25 degrees off, 20 degrees off, but she's rolling smoke right now, so that's good. Temperature's coming up. Alright, so we're above 400 degrees. We cheated a little bit, and we use our blower in order to get it up there. So you still see the discrepancy. I think actually they may be reading pretty close to each other. Just the different temperature. This one's closer to the firebox. So being that the firebox is really hot right now at about 475, whereas this one is sitting at about 425. So just, that's why we'll do some tests and everything like that to see how it actually sits across the chamber itself when it's throwing it. I know when you're doing low and slow, it's going to be pretty even throughout, but obviously you want to put without a baffle plate in it, you're going to want to put your thicker part of your meat closer to the fire. So another thing we're noticing, we are getting a lot of smoke coming out of the smoke chamber. So I do have some gasket that I bought to go along with this, so I'm going to end up installing that, and we got that from both sides. You see right there. Looks like it's pretty much just the sides, not too much along the back, but we got a gasket that'll fix that. Alright, so that completes our build of the Oklahoma Joe. So the Highland series. So right now, finished out the seasoning, and right now everything looks good. I haven't seen any bowing, and we had it up to about 450 degrees as we went through this. So still finish cooking off what's left inside. Right there. But we did see smoke come out of the firebox there, and then obviously here and over on this side. So we are going to put the gasket in that we have on hand, and then we're going to see how it sits from that point forward. So we'll do it on both boxes. And then also, because of the heat difference between here and here, we are going to manufacture and install a baffle plate. If you don't want to, manufacture one, there are several out on there online that you can get that just bolt right in. So we're gonna make it one, and then you'll see that one later on after it gets installed. So thanks for checking out our build today, and hope everybody has a great weekend. All right, see you. Alright, so we're here at the Oklahoma Joe. This is the Highland series. And today we went ahead and we manufactured and installed our own baffle plate. So you can see right here, it is open on the sides there and right here, but it directs the flow and you can see the holes smaller, larger. So actually wasn't very hard. It's just a piece of sheet metal. And then we have it so it's actually supported by the grates underneath. So you can see right here. And that way you don't have to worry about it bending or any of that kind of stuff. So it turned out really nice, and then we bolted it. You just use the bolts that were already there that hold on the firebox, and works out pretty great. So we'll see how it does whenever we fire this thing up next time. And we're gonna be doing a brisket here soon, and that's gonna be our first cook on this. We're gonna see how it distributes the heat and smoke, and we'll go from there. So, more to follow.
The three of us, we are soldiers. No, we never blush. We are soldiers. The three of us, we are soldiers. My girls are better than your girls, 'cause they're not really girly girls, like a girly girl. They're really cool, not that shallow. Cool, not that shallow. My girls are better than your girls, 'cause they're not really girly girls, like a girly girl. They're really cool, not that shallow. Cool, not that shallow. The three of us, we are soldiers. The three of us, we are soldiers. We got soul. We are soldiers.
All right, we're ready to wrap our first brisket on the Oklahoma Joe, and we're gonna go ahead and kind of put our beef tallow that we rendered from the same brisket. We're gonna put it on here. So you kind of sit on it, and then once we get done, we're gonna put some on top as well. All right, here's our brisket. Woo, she's hot. All right, so we're gonna set it right on there. And then we're going to go ahead and put our beef tallow right on top. Try not to mess up our bark. At the same time, we want to get that beef tallow on top because we don't want this thing to dry out too much. If you start knocking off a little bit of bark, it's okay. All right, overall, this thing has taken on a ton of smoke, our hickory smoke, and now we're gonna get it ready. It's gonna wrap, and then we're gonna put it still fat side up so we can continue to render the fat down into the meat. So, big focus of this tallow on the flat, and that's now it's ready to wrap. So wrap. And there she is, she's ready to wrap, fat size back up. You see the beef tallow is already leaking through is already absorbing through the butcher paper. And now she's ready to go back on. Man, it's already sliding through like butter.